Hello, welcome to my Buddy Bud channel. That's just the name I came up with. I don't want to use anything I can be associated with. What I'm planning on doing with this channel, I find some random, well, not really random, but an article about something. This is from 2010 or so, I think. It's Yahoo Answers. And just off the top of my head or off the cuff, explain my views on it, whether they're right or wrong. I do not believe in political correctness. I think that's a whole bunch of baloney. That's just more ways of controlling people. Um, there's one state that's trying to ban clapping at graduations because they feel that there might be someone that may be an anxiety induced by people clapping. Uh, Stuff like that. Now I heard that giving the okay signal with your fingers, hey, okay, now that's offensive. So, this world is, I'm an extremely sensitive person, but holy cow, you know. Anyways, this is mostly about women, and for most of my life, I've loved women for, since I was a little kid. But now, I don't. Uh, I've been in denial most of my life. Why do women base everything on appearances? That's absolutely true, even if they say they don't. Absolutely true. Social popularity. That's absolutely true. A lot of them do. They'll get a circle of friends, and then they'll like get promoted to the next level at work or something. While that circle of friends slowly diminishes off, gets a new circle of friends that are highly or more highly socially at a higher social level, and it goes from there on. And they appear to be deeply rooted to the world of appearances. That's true. To the point they do not think anymore. I don't believe that. That's not true. Uh, I'm fair as I can be. Uh, Men are constantly looking at us from head to toe. If no men looked at you anywhere, well, how would you feel about that? We can't help but realize that our looks are important. Maybe it's hard for us to believe men don't want us to be superficial when they themselves are such visual people. Wow. I'm going on from that one. Cheery. I don't base everything on looks. Liar. But is is looks are the only thing you can form. I'm not a great grammar person, but it's getting worse in society. But looks are the only thing you can form an opinion of instantly. Of course, I can understand that. You know, if I walk into a room and I haven't shaved for 5 or 6 days and dirty clothes, all that stuff, I can understand that. But I can also understand seeing a woman come in like that and at least talk to her, find out what's going on. Maybe there's a reason for it. Uh, we've all heard the saying, never judge a book by its cover, which is exactly why, even if I judge someone how they look, it doesn't make a difference. Baloney. You already said you've already judged someone. Because I still give them a chance. So what if they're overweight? I'm overweight. Way overweight. Didn't always used to be that way. I thought I thought people treated me, well, I was thought to believe I was like 800 pounds all through high school. I was only 230. And here, the whole time, most of my life, I thought, well, my parents and everybody told me how disgustingly fat I was, when I really wasn't. I was pretty good looking back then. I still couldn't get a girl. Why? Because I couldn't believe in myself, or I didn't. Couldn't get myself to believe in myself. I don't like people for their looks. Liar. And more often, the better looking, the more I think they are. Mm-hmm. Actually, the better looking, the more I assume that they will be stuck up. Oh, really? Uh, I don't know about that comment. I know a lot of beautiful, beautiful women that aren't stuck up. So, I don't think that's true. So I probably would give an unattractive man a fair chance. That's a lie. In men, humor and intelligence is most important to me. No, it is not. But I think attraction is important too. Why would you want to be someone that you can't physically stand the sight of? You can't physically stand the sight of. It's not that you can't physically stand the sight of. It's what other people will think if you're with someone that isn't physically perfect or acceptable. It's not fair on them or you. So it is all about looks and other things. I think the two biggest question mark. Okay. The two biggest draws for women are a guy who makes her feel safe and protected, and a guy with the dough. There's a clue. Seems with me both of those have a bit to do with survival. Money, yes and no. Probably more often yes than no. We all heard, the generalized statement, women only like bad boys. Well, that's pretty mostly true. I had a girl at work, real nice girl, younger girl. I had no interest in her because of the age difference. But we got to work, and she got to be good friends with this other employee at work that worked in a different department. Got over Facebook friends. They talked on the phone. She thought he was awesome. Well, he's in jail for soliciting sex with an underage girl, online. Gee, there's a smart thing. Okay, and she was already engaged to a boy at home who gave her a 3 carat, yes, 3 carat, I've seen it, diamond ring. And eventually they finally did get married. Lasted 4 months, divorced. They moved to another state. 4 months. But apparently he started drinking and treated her badly. I don't know if there was physical abuse or what, but anyways. So immediately after they divorced, she moves in with another guy. And the week they moved in together, the United Marshals, U.S. Marshals, picked him up for something. He's been in jail ever since. And immediately after that, within a week, got another guy she's engaged to and moved in with. So, what does that tell you? It's also called monophobia, fear of being alone. I know a few women like that. They can't not have a guy for 2 minutes. And it's all based around sex, basically. Who can please them? That's it. That's true. You'll find that not all women will feel that stereotype. The female brain is mired in deficiency is a proven fact that science that women's brains start developing at 15. That's not true. Absolutely not true. They have essentially a child's brain and a deteriorating body. That's not true. There's plenty of smart, intelligent, thoughtful, and kind women. Plenty of them. But they're not stupid. And to be honest, I really hate women. But I am fair, and I do give credit where credit is due. Why are handsome men usually... These are questions, I haven't read the answers enough. Why are handsome men usually laid back and cool and friendly, but good-looking girls are usually shallow, stuck up, and rude? I sort of disagree with that. I know plenty of girls that are models, the model type, and are extremely shallow, stuck up, and rude. There's one at work. I go see a therapist. She says I try to make a friend, whether it's male or female. I wasn't looking for romance or anything. So there was this new girl at work, and we hung out. I'm a smoker. We hung out at the smoking table every day, and we smoke. And I sort of grown to like her, and all this stuff. And me, I just lost my job, my apartment, everything in it, all this stuff. I had to move back home. Embarrassed, broke, nothing to my name, not a TV, nothing. And I'm depressed. I've always suffered from depression really bad. I guess I'm bipolar too. Really bad. And in the mornings I'm really crabby, and I'm kind of a little bit glum. And I kept trying to explain to her, look, I'm this way in the morning. I suffer from depression really bad and all this stuff. And I had a video of me playing the first lead solo from Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. And this is the best I've ever done on the guitar. I had a Gibson Les Paul. I lost that too, by the way. And this is when I had this job I lost because of my big fat neck. Long story, not getting into it. And I had a video of me just before this whole process started happening. And you could tell my attitude was different. I was more uplifting. I was, you know what I mean? Everything was going great, right? So I filmed myself playing this beautiful solo, the first one, the easier of the two. And it sounded perfect. It wasn't perfect, but to me, it sounded perfect. I had the right tone and everything. And, it sounded pretty darn close to the real thing. And I shouldered that, and the minute I started playing, I said, now this is started the video, this is what I was like before this happened. Oh, you're so negative. So you just judged me right in the middle of showing you my proudest moment and showing you that I'm not always this way and I'm going through a rough patch here, and you're going to tell me I'm negative. Now, then she also told me, well, you can always find someone, online. That's how I found my boyfriend, in a sex site. Oh, a sex site. Uh-huh. And how much Photoshop did you do on your face? I thought she was pretty. But I'm sure to the general public it wasn't. But to me, I thought she was pretty. See, I don't look for perfection. And her body wasn't proportionally correct, which I would believe to be something that would be a rough thing. But if you go to a sex site, guys are shallow too. As long as they spread them and let them. We're not that picky when it comes to sex. So relationships are different, but some people, it's all about sex. It's always about sex. Sex first, ask questions later. This isn't always the case. There's always exceptions. I know. Let's hear it. There's always exceptions, and I'm glad there are. There should be more of them. And she hasn't talked to me but one time in 4 years. She avoids me like the plague. When she comes near me, she just stares straight ahead. Oh, it's just horrible. And I mean, she's even gone as far as in the office to make sure she doesn't have to work near me. And all I did was ever be nice to her. Uh, oh, that's right. I told her I liked her once. Yeah, that's what set it off. This is after she basically judged me in the middle of that video. And it was just after Mother's Day. And I ordered this big sheet of baklava. Well, we can't eat all that. So I packaged some up and I gave it to her. And I told her I know you're taken, but I do like you. And if you weren't taken, I'd be interested. That's all I said. Something to that effect. Which I don't think is abusive, rude, against any work policies. If there's a work policy saying you can't say I like you to someone, that I didn't say I'd like to do anything. I just like you. Why can't you say that? That's it. And it's been emotionally painful for me ever since. Because now I got somebody, I can't stand the thought of someone hating my guts. I didn't do nothing. So women are, no. This, what another girl in another state when I lived, we worked together in the same place, and we're neighbors in our apartment. And she had a boyfriend finally, and just before she broke up with her boyfriend, she told me, "What you need is a girlfriend like me." I liked her, but she was taken. I'm not the kind that try and jump in. I don't do that. Probably a mistake, but I don't. If someone's taken, as far as I'm concerned, it's off limits. Well, anyways, she was single for a while, and I just let her know my feelings, and she moved. Immediately moved. Same thing, wouldn't talk to me, ignore me, all that kind of stuff. Because I'm a fairly large person, and no one wants to bring me to the Thanksgiving dinner. So that's what it's all about. All right, I gotta end this. I've been going on for 17 minutes. No, but anyways, I hate to say it, but I'm honest. I can't stand women anymore, and there's always exceptions. I got a few. There's a few at work that are actually wonderful people. Wonderful people, and they don't judge me for my looks. But then again, none of them are single. All right, that's the end of this anti-woman rant. I'm trying to be as nice as I can, and I didn't want to be nice. But if you listen to this whole thing, I'm sure you will come to the conclusion that I have been fair. Okay? Alright. I guess that's it for today. I hope somebody enjoyed this, or at least agreed or disagreed. I don't care. But it's therapeutic for me to get it out, and maybe it's worth some good discussions. Alright, till next time. Buddy Bud.